Hey guys, it's Faye. Over the past year, we traveled all across China from the south to the north and the east to the west. We watched the most gorgeous New Year's fireworks from an aircraft carrier at the port of Tianjin, and the epic rice terraces carved into the high mountains of southern Yunnan were totally breathtaking. We took an old-fashioned train through the ancient town of Zhanqi. It felt like stepping back in time. Then hopped on a modern high-speed rail to Laos, where we experienced a totally different culture and way of life. Then we made our way to the Taihang Mountains in northern China. This range acts as a divide between the plains and mountains up north. Seeing those massive ridges rise up right in front of you is a feeling that's really hard to put into words. Out in the Hengduan Mountains of western Sichuan, we were surrounded by the most epic snow-capped peaks, grasslands, and alpine lakes, and got a glimpse into the unique lifestyle of the Tibetan communities there. We also followed the Yellow River through northern China, where Chinese civilization began. Walking among those ruins, you can almost hear the echoes of history. After that, we headed down to the traditional villages south of the Yangtze River, where we lived by its rhyme, watched the seasons turn, and welcomed the new year. The first stop on our trip was Yunnan province. Split by the Tropic of Cancer, Yunnan's north is all steep mountains, while its south is covered in rainforest. That is why winters here are so surprisingly warm. We made our way to Yuanyang Country in southern Yunnan, which was perfect for getting away from the bitter northern winter. This place is tucked deep into the Ilau Mountains. The mountains act like a wall against the humid southeast winds. They squeeze out all the moisture, leaving the valleys dry while the peaks stay cool and forested. The Hani people have lived and farmed here for centuries, cutting ribbons of terraces into the mountainside. From the air, the whole scene spreads out like a broken mirror, every single pane reflecting its own slice of the sky. Today, the Hani make their home in southern Yunnan's mountains, but their story began with the ancient Qiang people, nomadic herders from the northern plateaus. To avoid war, they made a long journey south into the Ilau Mountains and eventually put down roots, forming the Hani people. On the surface, the Hani look a lot like the Han, but their way of life is totally different. They still farm like in ancient times, growing red rice in terraces and even keeping water buffalo and pigs under their houses. Come festival time, they wear traditional dress, cook up a huge pork feast, and share it all with family and friends. What I love about Hani dress is its deep blues and blacks, detailed with lovely embroidery. It's tailored long and close to the body, giving it this real understated beauty. So now I'm going to show you these costumes of the Hani as a group. As you can see that there are different colors costumes. The blue, the black color, the purple, the red and the pink. And as you can see that there are some beautiful flowers in it. It's really, beautiful. And I just choose a blue one to wear it. And actually for the women, they usually wear some silver necklace or some silver decorations to put it on their neck or on their hair. And usually they have some hat decorations, but I can't find it, so I just choose costumes and I think it's really beautiful. I like blue color. I think the blue color, yeah, it can show me really, really beautiful and really slim. What do you think? At Yunnan, we stopped by Zhanqi, a classic Hani village. Their houses are tucked right into the mountain, made of mud and thatch. From a distance, they look just like mushrooms popping up from the forest. It's all connected. The houses, terraces, and forest work as one living system. The forest acts as a natural water tower. Rain soaks into the soil and comes out as clean spring water. Villagers use it for drinking, washing, and watering the terraces. The terrace layers spread water perfectly. You see dogs and buffalo right in the fields. More than just beauty, these terraces show how brilliantly the Hani live with nature. 你好，
你好，你好，来看看，来看看，走看看，走看看，
好暖和。
哎，走看看，今天他来了。
今天下雪了。
今天下雪了。
对，走看看，走看看。
谢谢。
不用谢，走。大女儿是子是比我的儿子大1岁，我的儿子小1岁。孙子大1岁，儿子小1岁。儿子小1岁，孙子大1岁。
那他得叫他怎么叫？
叫孙子叫什么？
啊？
叫侄子。
侄子。
就是您的儿子叫您的孙子。
舅舅。
叫他叫舅舅。
叫舅舅。
他叫他的孙子叫侄子呗。
舅舅。
神奇。那您这寨子里是不是大部分都是亲戚？
多亲戚多。我们老公的弟兄是8个人的。8个人。
8个人。
8个人。
儿子8个，姑娘2个。我的老公，我爸爸以前，爸爸是1个，妈妈是2个。
爸爸娶了2个男的。
对。一个生5个。
一个生5个。
对，没事多个了。我们说，上面我们旁边上的是我们大哥家，这家是我叔叔家。这一排是我们家的。
都是你家的。
都是我家的。
全都认识的。
能认识。
也是，对。逢年过节就大家一块儿热闹。
Just east of the Ilang Mountains, where the highlands begin to spread out, you'll find these flat basins what locals in Yunnan call bazi, and nestled right into one of them is Zhanqi, this ancient town that feels like it's been holding its breath for centuries, because it was chucked so far into the borderlands. It stays safe, untouched by so much of the conflict that swept through other places. So it grew into a real boom town. Now let's hoop to the early 1900s, when massive tin deposits were found in Gejiu, right near Zhanqi. So local gentry and merchants all pitched in, chipped in their money, and built China's very first privately funded railway, the Gebishi Railway, just to haul all that treasure out. Riding this winter train, I feel like I'm slipping right into the world of southern Yunnan from a century ago, breathing in the charm of another time. The countryside glides by, slow and real. The fields, farmhouses, villages, everything just feels within arm's reach. Along this railway lies a village frozen in time, Tuanshan Village. Built last century, it was once the height of local luxury. And honestly, we can still feel today. Just look at houses, carved in delicate carvings, crafted with such care. Every detail whispers how alive and wealthy this place once was. Funny, almost everyone in this village is surnamed Zhang. all because their ancestors who struck chain and built a fortune. But the mines dried up, and with them the youth left too. What's left is a quieter place, kept alive by the elders who choose to stay, anchored to the home they've never left.
这个我看是将军府，原来是一个将军的吗？
是呀，
当地的。
我们老祖是蔡武的属下。
谁的属下？蔡锷。啊，就是您的祖先。
是呀，是老祖。
他这一块都是姓张的吗
？80%都姓张，在个村子的。
你也是姓张？
是呀。我们都姓张。
等于说现在这个整个盘山民居，这些古建筑都不住人了，都是拿来参观用了。还是住。
你像后院，我们后院还只有一家。我们像我们家不够住。我们弟兄他都，你看。
对，我看有的楼也比较古老了，不太适合住了哈。
还是有120年。
清朝的时候。
当时的4大不拆了，这会不过3大，现在的这几大就没有拆，矿也没干过，什么都没做过。
就后来这边张氏的现在有多少人？
我们这里没有几家。
没有，好多都搬出去了。
不是在国界有些是，以前不一那两条街，他们的钢矿就是在那里。
对。
连拱在。
像他们各就那边的这种后代还回到这边来吗？
不回了。
不回来，就他过年也不回来了。
过年都不回来了。但是老娘总死掉了，是小的。我娘过岁了，娘了什么东西那些的没在了。谁真的不在，当时小的就不拉帮，现在。
可能就隔了太多代了，他也就比较淡了哈。
淡了就分开了，不拉帮。小的这些交
代。After Yunnan, we jumped on an international high-speed train right into Luang Prabang in Laos. You can feel that mix everywhere. Just take a stroll and you will spot beautiful temples right next to cozy French-style bistros. It all blends together into this really cool, totally exotic vibe. Honestly, Luang Prabang is tiny, like just a handful of streets. It reminds me so much of my childhood hometown. No tall buildings, everything just moves at its own gentle pace. No one's rushing, shops open when they feel like, it kind of just wraps you in the slow, simple way of living. The kind that makes you remember what life really feels like. In Luang Prabang, mornings belongs to the market. Oh, the greetings you will see there, things you just don't find anywhere else.
哪个？老鼠哪儿呢？哦，这是松鼠。
松鼠？
这不是松鼠吗？
松鼠也能吃。
能吃啊。鸟儿。这个是啥？
เป็นกรเบาซ่องกรวะเป็นแฟบที่เจ้าเคยมีแฟบดิ
怎么做呢？
แฟบแม่ผู้ชายเหมือนแม่ป้าตายเลยแม่ฟันของตายเราไปเอาออกไปบอกทั่วฝั่งทั่วไป
When the afternoon heat rolls in, you slip into a little massage spot along the street and just let go. Then, as the sun starts to dip, you find yourself on a boat along the Mekong, wind in your hair, a cooked drink in hand, and in that moment, everything just feels right. with traditional Lao music in the air and a gentle evening light on your skin. It's just incredibly peaceful. If I could, I'd come back and stay longer, just to soak in the slow, easy rhyme of life. Then, when night falls, Luang Prabang wakes up. Bars, restaurants, and cute little shops light up, and the night market fills with travelers ready to explore. The energy is amazing, so lively and fun.
可以给他划价。
人民币，
你不管人民币了。
别管人民币。
Two short。OK。
看是啥意思
30、60啊，60币。
60是多少
？30，就是便宜了一点。
那换成他那是，你得
7万多。7万，我给他大概给7万2个人14万，10万他卖。Hello, can this? 12. Cheap.
中式砍价，中式砍价是吗？Just a short trip from Luang Prabang, Van Van is tucked away in the mountains, and honestly, the scenery here feels a lot like Guilin back in China. When you see those green hills layered behind open farmlands, it's absolutely breathtaking. But don't let peace fool you. Underneath all that calm, this place is completely wild. They call it an outdoor playground for no reason. You can climb mountains, jump off cliffs, zip line through the jungle, even go paragliding or float up in a hot air balloon. Basically, if it's an adventure, they've got it. If Luang Prabang is a quiet gentle girl, then Van Van is definitely the right adventurous guy.
我们现在在爬摩托山，这个山总共450米，非常的陡，最陡的地方有90度。这边，像它的石头都是这种特别尖的。如果你滑倒了，很有可能把你磕来流血。
The mountains around Van Van are seriously steep. Those karst peaks are all jagged rock, so to climb up is no joke. I ended up on a floor near the summit, clawing my way up, completely put toward the view waiting above. But the view from the summit made every drop of sweat worth it. You could see peaks everywhere, farmland fronting out to the horizon. They look like giant bamboo shoots pushing through the earth. It's such a wild sight. We also tried something totally new here. We went up in a hot air balloon just before sunrise. I'd never been in one before. It's not like flying in a plane, but you get this crazy sense of just floating in the air. As the sun warmed the horizon, mist began to rise like the ground was exhaling. Seeing everything at work through Turrentine below, breathtaking. If the crew hadn't been keeping us at a certain height, I swear, I feel like I could see the curve of the earth way out there. What an absolutely magical experience. If you put up a satellite view of China, the whole country looks like it's built on 3 huge steps, going from west to east. The top step is the Qinghai Tibet Plateau. Then, right around it, you've got all three highlands, mountains and basins. That's step 2. And finally, the eastern plains and southeastern hills make up the third step. This summer, we went to where step 2 meets step 3, the Taihang Mountains in northern China. On the west side of the endless North China Plain, these massive mountains rise up all of a sudden, like a giant wall blocking the way west. It's honestly hard to put into words how breathtaking it feels. Hello guys, now we have arrived at Taihang Pavilion, which is a must-see landscape in Linzhou. And in the back of this pavilion, that is Taihang Mountains, which is really cool. Let me show you the Taihang Pavilion. As you can see that it's a Chinese, traditional Chinese architecture. And it's standing 59.9 meters tall. And let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it has 7 flowers. And it looks super impressive. If you come to the Linzhou, I think it's a really great place to go, because when you go up to this top of the pavilion, you can see the panorama of this whole city. Wow, I think it's gonna be really pretty. So maybe later we're gonna to check it out. Now, the Taihang range is not all that high, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 meters, but it's a steep place that hits you. Crossing it used to be incredibly tough. People carved narrow trails into cliffs or tunnels through rock, creating what they call cliffhanger roads. And as precarious as they were, clinging to the edge of the road, they were lifelines. Reaching the top of the Taihang range, it doesn't feel real. Up there, everything's flat, like standing at a giant table, and all around you, the cliffs just drop straight down. They're not just rocks, they're walls carved by the earth itself, shifting and rising over millennia. Looking down, you feel like you've been lifted to the top of a skyscraper.
我们现在来到了太行山原始的山路，就是这种特别窄、特别陡的台阶，可以从山底沿着这种台阶爬到我们刚才去的寺庙。这个台阶不知道是谁修建的，太隐蔽了，这种山路。去年冬天掉的树叶还没有完全腐烂，然后新的这个绿叶又长出来了。
不过这个路面踩起来软软的，
对，
还挺舒服。
这种路在过去应该就是他们山里人出山的必经之路，现在修了更宽阔的公路以后，这个路走的就少了。现在大部分都是那个驴友徒步的道路。
These ancient trails had been abandoned for years until a hermit, Li Xiaotang, came along. He settled into the temple deep in the Taihang mountains and spent his days slowly repairing the old cliffside passes and the temples along them, bit by bit. We saw him there, but at the time we had no idea who he was or what he was quietly doing. We missed our chance to really stop and hear his story. I guess something just slipped by. Maybe that regret is meant to stay with us until next time. After that, we made it to the Hongduan Mountains. This is where China's southern western plateau just drops right into the Sichuan Basin. And I'm not kidding, in just a couple hundred miles, the ground literally climbs from 500 meters to over 4,000. It doesn't feel real. Here you will see everything. Icy sharp peaks cutting into the sky, soft endless green hills rolling under your feet, lakes so clear you think someone polished them, deep dramatic valleys that make you feel tiny, quiet sacred temples tucked into the mountainsides, and everywhere life. Wildlife just moves through it all, like they've always belonged. The people across every one of these wildly different landscapes, they build completely different lives. Their homes, their days, their rhymes, all shaped by the ground beneath their feet. Here we're in Rangtang country, tucked right between Sichuan and Qinghai. This whole area is just endless waves of highland grasslands. Up here, for most Tibetan families, life is built around yards. It's honest work, but it's not easy. Things can feel scarce, and getting but takes a lot. That's why the government sends young volunteers here from other provinces to help bring some change. We actually know one of them, a friend who's been living and working in these communities. He invited us to visit one of the villages he's been supporting.
你家这多少人？我们家住在这里的分3个户口，然后我的那个是我是当户主的，然后有3个人，然后还有另外一个户口也是3个人，他们我嫂子那个户口里有8口人。8口。哦，对，他自己儿女比较多嘛。对。一共算起来10多口人，还是比较多的。
就这种问题存在嘛，就很有些村民就来找我，就说房子不够住了，他们能给他们找块地，这个是真为难我，我现在给你们走。
对，确实。
那你上大学后面还会出去工作吗？
看嘛，因为其实本来之前说的是要出去的，然后现在可能就是我嫂子一个人忙不过来，可能出去不了。
先帮着照顾一段时间。
对，你看那么多
都是小孩哈。
对。
他们都已经上学了哈。
没有，他们俩今年上学。
那还有个小孩。
他那个上学了，上初中，然后下去的话就刚好初3。还有一个是今年小学毕业，然后要上初中。他小学2年级。
对，都孩子大了就好了。
对，大了就好那个一点。
Even though life isn't easy here, the people are full of warmth and joy. We actually showed up right during their annual festival. Everyone was eating, drinking, singing, and racing horses. The energy was amazing.
他的额头好硬啊，你要摸摸，好乖呀。出发，启动。哎呦，感觉他怎么这么暴力？ 马哥慢点，马哥不用太快。哟，你怎么停下了，马哥？走，走，走，走，驾，驾，驾，驾，驾。拿着抽试试，走，走，走，哦，好马，好马，好马，你要撞车了。
That night in Rangtang, and in a sky full of stars, everyone came together around a bonfire. They danced a guozhuang, this beautiful circling Tibetan dance. Even though I didn't know anyone there, the whole atmosphere was so welcoming that I just let go of my usual shyness and joined in. I think I will carry that night with me, not in my camera, but somewhere deeper. And then there's Maisu, another part of the Sichuan highlands. Only a few hours from Rangtang, but it feels like you entered another story. This place is chock deep in the Hengduan Mountains. The road in is long and windy. It doesn't give itself up easily, but when you arrive, the town is just sitting there, wrapped in the snowy peaks, peaceful, tucked away, like it exists outside of time. Unlike Rangtang, this place used to be pretty cut off from the outside world. So people here learn to make almost everything themselves, from daily tools to religious artifacts. That kind of isolation actually helped preserve these traditional crafts, and they've been passed down through generations to this day. What really hits me is how much they care about education. Many young locals go study outside, even abroad, and then come back with new perspectives to help promote their own heritage. Imagine starting your day at a centuries-old temple, then kicking back later with a cup of local barley coffee, chatting about design or culture. It's cool to see, and it's what makes Maisu feel special to me.
你等于您也是在外面读过书，然后又回来。
23年毕业。
23年毕业。
啊，对。
那刚刚毕业不久。
啊，不久。这些都是藏文书法的一些文创产品。我们这边藏文书法主要是以传统的基础上，再跟现代的艺术化相结合。对。每个作品，每个作品的含义，每个作品的字体都不一样。这些是。
书法，
福报，
对，
相信任，
信任，
慈悲，
这个是
慈悲，
藏文对吧？
对，藏文，都是藏文。
那他这个是用毛笔写的吗？
对，毛笔写的。毛笔写的。我把就是慈悲2个字写成一种比较温柔的形状去设计的一个。
这相当于是2个字。
对。传统的基础上。和现代艺术相结合的一种作品。
这是用什么画的？
丙烯颜料。
丙烯颜料，油画的那个。对。
And then there's the natural beauty. Maisu is in this huge valley with massive green mountains all around. You got glacial water rushing down into these gorgeous multi-waterfall streams. They call them duopugou. People build temples up on the cliffs and houses lower down. It's little barley fields and yaks just wandering around. Starry out here, it's hard to believe you're still in Sichuan. Feels more like a quiet alpine town tucked away somewhere.
Wow, it's a really beautiful place. And as you can see that, I just walk across this wood bridge and then to this, the other side of this river. And as you can see that, the scenery is really beautiful. Can you hear the sound of this river? And the mountains in the distance which is really cool. Can you see the beautiful, flags? They just blow away with this wind, and it's really beautiful. The water is really cold actually, but I have seen some children, they just play into the river. I think if the temperature could be get warmer, maybe it's a great place to, play the water. Hi. Oh, yeah, it's really close. Yeah. Yeah, good. I made it. Wow. Look. Very interesting. I think it's cool. Try.
In China, we have two rivers that feel almost like living companions, the Yangtze in the south and the Yellow River in the north. They both rise from those distant snow-capped mountains and the Tibetan Plateau, then slowly, steadily make their way east toward the ocean, tracing a path through so much of this country along the way. Right now, I'm standing here where the Yellow River begins to soften, where the mountains give way to plains and the land tilts gently toward the horizon. You see both faces of the Yellow River, the fierce, rushing force is snowfall, and then, just like that, a sudden stillness, deep and green, almost like a hairbreadth. We're here now, down in this vast, quiet plains of Henan, along the lower stretch of the Yellow River. This region is known as the Central Plains, but there's also this old beautiful name, Heluo. It means will the Yellow River and the Luo River come together, and definitely a name that carries the weight of centuries. This is literally where Chinese civilization began, right under our feet.
这边这个是河伯，就是黄河的水神；这个是洛神，就是洛河的水神。这个地方刚好是两条河交界的地方。画的这个应该表达两条河的河神在会面，写的是洛神会河伯。然后这边是河伯巡游，就是黄河的水神在巡视。这么看来，这座庙一开始修建的是用来祭祀黄河和洛河的水神用的。刚才看了一下这里的介绍啊，就是伏羲最早在这里创建的八卦，是为了帮助这些老百姓理解这个世间万物运行的规律，就是可以说预测或者预算一些未来的一些吉凶啊，然后或者是福祸之类的。它其实相当于是一门当时的一门科学，用于运算这些东西。因为当时生产力比较落后嘛，然后人民也对这个自然啊、宇宙的理解，就是还停留在比较浅显的阶段。所以说，伏羲根据他的一些知识啊、经验，然后总结出了这个八卦。而且特别有意思啊，是这个庙，听说有一个老太太算这个卦特别准，但是我此行没有遇到啊。如果遇到的话，可以让她给我算算，看看我未来命运如何。
This place has been seen as the heart of China for thousands of years. So many dynasties set their capitals here. You might walk past what looks like an ordinary village cave, and it turns out to be a 1,000-year-old grotto, holding stories in its silence. When you will glance across a field and see ancient stone figures standing quietly between crops. Even some of the parks people relax in today, they're actually ancient imperial tombs. Here, the past isn't behind glass. It's in the air you breathe, in the soil beneath your feet.
这是皇后岭。
哦，这是林木。
咱这皇后岭，这一转要到前面，就2米都能走，2米走到哪去？再往高处上，南面走。
感觉走这儿有点瘆得慌。感觉有点瘆得慌。
没事。
来都来了，还是来逛逛吧。
啊，你这有啥？这没有人了。这是今天下雨，你知道不？
对。
要不下雨，这有人哇。
对，我看网上说这边都是市民过来遛弯的地方。
啊，对。
你们经常过来遛哈？
一天是鸡巴来遛好几回。
我看还有遛狗的。
啊，对。早上5、6点都出来搁这遛弯。遛8、9点都吃完饭吃没事吃孩子遛弯。
你就住这附近吗？
我就在对面。
像这些树都是后种的哈。
哎，这都是随后的。
原来
这种了10、20年，20多年。
对，原来估计主要分包还有这些石头。
原来这些就是全部都是农民的
菜地、
农田。
你
看这屋子有人。
对。
你看看，这不是木骨头，这不是也是？
这是啥？
这也是。
这也是坟墓吗？
这也是坟墓，这等于说是给看门的呢，就给过去经常说呢，看大门的2米。这不是俩狮子？
这有个狮子吗？
这和这。
看见了。原来是埋在地底下，先给挖出来了哈。
原来就是埋这的，他就这样的了。
露一个老带出来。打个光给他。
So we are wrapping up 2025 down in Shexiang County, deep in southern Huangshan Anhui. Yes, it's technically part of the Jiangnan region, south of Yangtze. But forget everything you picture when you hear Jiangnan. This isn't about waterways and arched bridges. Instead, the villages here are tucked way up in the mountains, pretty isolated. That isolation also makes something beautiful. Local traditions, architecture, and ways of life didn't just survive. They have been preserved almost like living history. This area was known in ancient times as Huizhou. You know those hills that stretch across southeast Anhui and up into northeast Jiangxi. Fertile land was hard to come by here, really scarce. So people just worked with what they had, finding little flat spots, gentle slopes, planting where they could, building homes whenever the earth let them settle. Hello guys, we just stopped a tiny village by the road and hooped out to wander around. And here you can hear the roosters crying and the birds chirping, and also you can see the reefs. I'm gonna show you. You can see the reefs swaying nearby. This place is just so peaceful. That is the power of quiet, right? The path is lined with ginkgo trees and tea bushes. And from what I can tell, the village is called Plum Village. I wonder if there are plum blossoms here when the season hits. Anyway, being this calm vibe feels so cozy and grounded. Yeah, just like all the business faces away.
樟树，500年了。
哇塞！
我的妈呀，500年啥时候了？500年得明朝了。
明朝的树。
天哪，这树太大了，遮天蔽日。 这儿还有2棵，这2棵稍微小点儿。看这个树，它都已经种空了，然后都快倒了，结果上面的树枝还是活的，太神奇了。千年古树，100年古树。
而且这个你能闻到有一股香味。
樟树是可以驱虫的，应该就是因为这个香味它可以驱虫。然后可以看到这边这个快倒的树枝有一个混凝土的柱子给它支撑住，那为了是防止它倾倒吧，毕竟这个树干里面已经空了，太神奇了。
Hello guys, now we are getting to a new place called Yangchan Tulou up in the mountains. The houses here are built with the soil, so the color is yellow and the vibe is super quiet. Now we are in the parking lot at the foot of the Tulou because the mountains here is really steep, so we can't drive up. And we are waiting for the local people to pick us up and to take their car, the shuttle car, to go to the homestay. And yeah, now we are going to go and we're going to show you what it looks like. Heading up to Yangchan Tulou from the foot of the mountain, the road feels like a straight along the cliff. Most of the path is only wide enough for one car, and it feels like you are almost brushing against the cliff edge. But the locals totally calm. They dip around in these village shadow vans like it's nothing, flying around these tight mountain curves. When they meet another car coming the opposite way, no one panics. They always figure it out. Honestly, I trust the local driver here any day. If it were me behind the view, I probably would tap out at the first turn. 来到了阳产土楼，可以看见这个楼房土黄色的，都是用泥巴做的。然后我们现在过去的话，没有那种车不能到，只能自己提着行李箱过去。好的。你知道你这像啥吗？你这像回村的大学生。 休息一下吗？
休息一下，歇一下，歇一下。
哦，好。
终于到了。还得上个楼，天哪！我赶上上次在中沙寺的那个楼梯了，感觉好像中沙寺那个楼梯哈。
对，还是比中沙寺的好走一些。
哎呦天哪！我不行了。
加油，你可以的！加油！天哪！
这楼梯给太陡了。感觉跟防空洞似的。
We found a tiny little window here, and I think it just looks like a photo frame. Now I'm gonna to open it up to see the view outside. Wow! Oh my god! Okay, I think it looks like it connects to another neighbor's place. It looks like the place they wash maybe the vegetables or something. Fine, I think the view from our side just like we're snooping, so we better just shut it right back up.
看看我们这个古老的门锁，就是一个门栓，这样一打开就可以出去了，毫无防盗的作用。
也有作用啊，这不是给它插上了吗？哦，外面可以随时打开哈。
对呀、从那个地方是村口，然后沿着那个路一路走，绕了一个大圈，上到那个地方是我们住的地方。然后这个民宿的简介写的是距离村口300米，但是我们走了一圈下来，发现起码有1公里，我们还拎着2个大箱子，就累惨了。所以大家来这个阳山土楼一定尽量别带箱子，不然会很痛苦。
轻装上阵。
对，我现在手都还是酸的。
Yangchan Tulou is nestled deep in the mountains. Yang means facing the sun, and in a local dialect, Chan means deep. So the name literally describes a sunny spot tucked among these sharp sloping peaks. Most villagers here share the surname Zheng. Legend says their ancestors settled here in the late Ming or early Qing dynasty, fleeing war. In over 3,000 years, the family grew into this full village. I think this Yangchan Tulou is totally like Azheke village in Yunnan, Yuanyang we visit this year, earlier this year, and all the houses are also the earthy yellow. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, and they are built from top to bottom. From the upper houses, you can literally see the roofs of the ones below, and they're packed so tight together, like super clustered.
五角大楼，这个是和美国那个五角大楼一样的，然后是因为它有5个面，1、2、3，后面还有2个，形成了5个角，所以叫五角大楼。还第一次见到这种形状的房子，一般都是4个面，它是5个面。然后现在这个五角大楼里面是成了咖啡厅，可以坐在2楼上面窗户那儿喝杯咖啡，看着远方。大哥给我指路，来到他家里。哇，这楼梯都是这么陡吗？天，
这个才像走下次。
对。哇，
这
这儿有一个小窗子。为啥窗子都修这么小呢？是为了保暖吗？天。
节约地皮呗，像我们农村人走惯了无所谓的哈。
是。
那你要现在看这样，爬出去，冒出去，它这边大家语言还不是很好啊。
啊，对对对。我们现在走到了村里，然后发现这个四面八方都是路，这一条，这一条，然后这儿还有一条，这儿还有一条。刚才大哥跟我们指的路，我们已经搞不清是哪儿了。
条条大路通罗马。
我们现在 lost in village， 是不是
？Late afternoon came, and those heavy clouds started to drift away, and were treated to this absolutely stunning sunset. Golden light slipped over those earthy yellow walls, and in that moment, it took me right back to the Hani village in Yuanyang, Yunnan, earlier this year. Same warm, earthy tones, same golden hour glow. And just like that, I realized a whole year has quietly slipped by. Leaving Yangcheng to Laos, we drove along the winding mountain road, with the Xiangnan River flowing beside us the whole way. It starts up in the Huizhou Mountains, carving its path through the valleys. Even though it's a dry season now, the river is so calm. Locals paddle small wooden boats along its surface, and classic Huizhou buildings are reflected perfectly in the water. This is the Jiangnan I always pictured in my mind. Gentle, serene, beautifully still. Back in the old days, Huizhou merchants would load up boats with salt, ceramics, tea, silk, and other goods, sailing down this very river to trade in Hangzhou. That trade brought immense wealth back to Huizhou. You can see it in the grand ancestral halls, the ornate homes, and the schools built with that money. Now we are going to follow the Xiangnan River upstream against its current to another ancient Huizhou village tucked in these hills, that is Zhanqi village. Now we're in the Zhanqi village, and this place is near the Huangshan mountain.
Yeah.
This spot is really famous for its fish lanterns here. So now we're just walking around this village and to see what is interesting things.
对，然后我们从网上查了，这个占旗鱼灯好像是起源于宋代，年头还是很长了。今天我们到的时间到晚上，这些村民就会把那种比较大的鱼灯从池塘里抬出来，然后点上灯，在这种小巷子里面穿梭。
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see that because I have checked online and yeah, the picture looks so beautiful.
对，就是各种颜色，主要是红色、绿色，然后再配上灯光，看起来就很不错。现在还是白天嘛，准备去这个村子里探索一下，看看这个鱼灯都是怎么做的，然后长什么样。我们现在行走在这个占旗村里面，这个各种巷道，感觉就像一个迷宫。然后可以看到房子跟房子之间的距离很近。
好喜欢这种。
啊，这个一看就是浙江、安徽这边的感觉哈。
这种古朴。
对。
哇。
还有这个房屋，时间长了产生的这种黑色的东西。
我们听动了。
对面有几只小狗在向我们示威呢，大狗也出来了，给小狗壮壮声势。
好了，不叫了。好了，我去看一眼宝贝。
我们发现了巷子里有一个小东西，好像是一个水井。
喂，你好吗？这个时候，如果下面有个人回应我，就
很恐怖。
不知道为什么看到这种事情，还是有一种很害怕的感觉。
因为太狭窄了，而且很深。
对，总觉得里面有东西要出来。
对，看见一个很古老的建筑，然后下面居然还有一个密码锁。刚才问附近的居民说这个密码锁还能使，太神奇了。上面是古老的门栓，下面是密码锁。
现代与古朴之间的结合。
对，看看这个房屋多古老。
哇！哇！哦，这是老房子。
关什么的说话？
这个。
这是谁啊？
这个古画。
古画吗？
祖上应该是有当官的。
哦，哇，
不是我不打老大，听个嘛。
他讲话，
他们，哦，奶奶好。
一句话，
他要走，
你搞的那个在啦？
他带那个在哦。
哦哦。
你能听懂？
听不懂。
听不懂。
两个没人来了。他说吧，他不是梦话的。
啊，这个能画什么？
让他等钱啊。
那奶奶一个人住啊？
两个。
哦。
都高寿的人家。
哇。
就看这儿，祖上应该是做官的哈。
祖上是当官的。
对。就看外面根本都不知道里面
那
这个。
他是，别个是县长、县委书记。你是县委书记的夫人。还要经过皇帝封你的什么夫人，你再跟两个人到一起的，不然的话都不能到一起的。那个照片啊，那合影啊不能合的。这样子的。非要那个皇帝封了，那你是什么夫人，你才可以两个人的。有哪一代少掉一个，就那一代那个人皇帝还没承认。很搞笑的。
哇。
他家是最完整的。
最完整的。
像原来咱这边这种也有不少这种什么做官的、考功名的哈。
那个老五乡里面全都是做官的。
哦，是吗？这么多做官的呢？
那个人家五世同堂。
那
这年代都13、14岁就要结婚的，都要生小孩。同堂是5代人都是2个夫妻一对，夫妻一对的。
对。
他是想9世同堂。所以那个法子，9头狮子叼起来，9世同堂更不可能，不可能，你画。
对。
管你13岁好的了。
100多岁了，对。
那个10几岁嘛，5世同堂差不多。
对。
那，
我感觉4世同堂都挺厉害了。
4世同堂都很少的。
对。
哇，这是您家吗？
到你们去看一看。
行。
哦。
好嘞，站到上面多去。
哦，谢谢。谢谢。哇。
那个清酒。
喝酒。
结婚啊，老人过辈啊，那个清酒。
就是
到这里做饭的。
做饭的。
对，到这里做饭的吃酒啊，大家来吃酒，跟你亲戚哈来到这里吃酒。结婚啊，那是。
就是咱村里的结婚都在这儿。
就我们这一块的。
你们这一块。
我们这一块到这里，大家一起到这里做饭。
The name actually comes from an ancient Chinese poem in the Book of Songs. It describes a village nestled by mountains and water, beautiful and peaceful. Now, this place is totally different from Yangcheng to Laos. Here you are seeing classic Huizhou architecture, white walls, black tile roofs, houses built so close together, the alleys feel super narrow. There are homes here that are hundreds of years old, and even though you can see the marks of time all over them, you can still feel the craft, the detail. They're weathered but still beautiful. Wow. 哦，这是祠堂，好多鱼灯啊！
在那边石雕，对不
对？哇！
这是这鱼是王。
哦，就是这些。
就这些那种街上是王。
哦。哇，这个好大呀！我们刚才从那边也有一个祠堂。
那个祠堂没有鱼。
对，那个没有鱼。
看到的那个嘛。
这个就是舞的那个鱼灯。
舞的那个鱼灯。
Wow. They're really, really beautiful. Looks just alive. And Uncle told us that each of them is about 20 to 25 kilograms heavy. So usually we got 2 people to lift them up together. Or maybe I can have a try. Wow. Yeah, oh my god, so heavy. Ooh, okay, great. Wow. I understand why they need 2 people to lift them up. And yeah, I'm going to show you what is inside the lantern. Wow. As you can see that this kind of, fish lanterns, they are usually red fish and the green sands. They represent the natural colors and, symbolizing the endless vitality and the dynamism. And I think this kind of, red fish and this green sands, yeah, there makes the beginning, a new beginning, yeah, and what a lovely and beautiful meaning. And here you can see a huge drum. I guess this drum is for the, when the people, they play with fish lanterns, maybe the drum just like a instrument to, as a kind of music. It's really cool. Everyone in this village has a surname Wang. Their ancestors settled here in Zhanqi village during the Song dynasty and introduced the fish lantern tradition. They use bamboo strips to frame the lanterns, and delicate silk is cut into scales and carefully assembled. When night falls, villagers light candles inside the lanterns and dance with them passionately, praying for the auspicious sign of the fish leaping over the dragon gate. It's all in the hope that their families will thrive and prosper.
开始了，开始擂鼓了。6点半了，开始擂鼓了。哇哦，
好像过年。
对。
Even though we saw the fish lanterns in the temple during the day, at night when they are all lit up, it's like they come to life. Seriously, this giant choir is swimming right before your eyes. I feel like I was literally transported back to the Song dynasty, which is when these lanterns actually started. The villagers are dancing with them, really putting their energy into it, and they keep changing the moves. I guess this should come from the traditional Chinese dragon lantern dance. Every single pose has its own meaning, like there's a fish leaping over the dragon gate, which means pushing forward, having abundance year after year for the prosperous life, and happiness with abundance for good fortune. All of it shows just how much the village hopes for a bright and happy future. As the lantern parade moved along, my own little fish lantern followed right along in a quiet procession all the way to the village square. Once we got to the square, all the lanterns gathered into a huge circle. That's when the energy really peaked. It felt a bit like those circle dances you see in Western Sichuan, where everyone just jumped in with their own moves. And visitors couldn't resist joining the fun. They take a lantern from the villager and just start swaying and dancing with it, totally feeling the joy and letting themselves go. And yeah, I was definitely one of them. Finally, as the celebration would down, Zhanqi village settled back into its usual calm. The lanterns were returned to the temple, resting quietly until the next big night of excitement. Hello guys, this is Faye. We actually put this video together on February the 1st, and it's a really special day because in the traditional Chinese calendar, it marks the start of the spring, one of the 24 solar terms. It's like natural ways of saying, alright, winter is over, let's wake everything back up. It just feels like a fresh start for the whole year. Speaking of the fresh start, we have got some really exciting plans for this year actually. Maybe we'll heading up to the flower-filled grasslands, or go to the tropical island vibe in the summer, or even go to the snow-capped mountains and the golden autumn, forest. Anyway, who knows where we will end up. I have to admit that the trips in 2025 was also healing for me because it helped me to expand my world and to make me realize that what I'm struggling with was not my entire world. Things change, we grow. And thank you so much for all of you coming along with us. I really hope this year is also a magic one for you. We can't wait to start our next adventure. So we will see you in the next one. Bye!